Hi guys, welcome back to the channel for another video. I'm sure some of you are thinking, Mia, really? You couldn't get out of your pajamas this morning before filming a video for us? Joke's on you. It's not the morning, it's 2:30 in the afternoon on a weekday. And I'm in my pajamas at 2:30 on a weekday watching Game of Thrones and doing some admin for work and making a video because I'm having a terrible body image day. So I thought we could talk about it because body image comes up a lot in this space, obviously. And I think it's important to unpack as somebody who's recovered who experiences bad body image from time to time. And it's important to talk about because I think people have an expectation that recovery is this magic cure-all for all things that are uncomfortable or difficult about being a person. And that could be incredibly disappointing, could be setting you up for expectations and trying to, attempt something which is just going to burn up all your energy when it's more about learning to cope with certain aspects of being a person. Not everything is because of our eating disorders, right? So for instance, can recovery help us to resolve behaviors? Yes. Can recovery help us to resolve eating disorder thoughts? Yes. Can recovery help us to reduce how often we have bad body image? Absolutely. Can it help to lessen the intensity of our bad body image? Completely. Does it make bad body image go away entirely? Well, no. If we wouldn't expect somebody without an eating disorder or without an eating disorder history to experience some level of discomfort or some level of sort of bad body image experience, then we can't sort of expect that of ourselves just because we're recovered. Kind of like recovery isn't a cure-all for anxiety. It is a cure-all for eating disorder related anxiety and anxiety related to eating disorder thoughts and behaviors, but you're still going to experience anxiety as a person. Recovery is not going to make life perfect and make it impossible for bad things to happen. Cut to the last 2 years of my life was a tough lesson to learn, but it will make you better at coping with it and managing and help seeking and all that good stuff that we do instead of reaching out to our eating disorder. So bad body image is something which when you're recovered, you're still going to experience because you're still going to be a human being. Now, in terms of my experience with bad body image, it is something which is fairly predictable for me because it tends to be in line with my endometriosis. I have endometriosis, which is a chronic illness of which I have a severe case, lucky me, and I am experiencing a flare-up of that right now. I'm in quite a bit of pain. I spent a ridiculous amount of money, ASMR, on this yesterday. Someone still needs to explain to me why a hot water bottle needs a pocket, but I'm open to suggestions because I'm in a lot of pain. I have done a lot of my work from my bed and I'm sitting here eating a twirl, a really bad one. I meant to get not the caramello, what's the one, Caramilk, and instead I picked up the breakaway, it has a wafer in it, and I'm so disappointed, and now I'm gonna have to go and buy another Caramilk one. But I'll have both, thank you. So I feel very uncomfortable in my body today. When I have these flare-ups, I am extremely bloated, more bloating than I ever experienced in recovery or at any other time in my life. I am very tired. I am very drained. This is kind of the deal of endometriosis, is that you are very tired and in quite a bit of pain. And I tend to feel really claustrophobic. I tend to feel very overwhelmed in my body. My skin is so sensitive that sort of my body touching is just, it just feels so uncomfortable. And that's a lot of how I felt when I had my eating disorder and I had bad body image. For me, bad body image was also always much more the sensation, the physical feeling, than it ever was visual. We talk about body dysmorphia very often from the visual element. You know, all those images that you see of someone in a smaller body looking in the mirror and seeing a larger body, which is problematic for so many reasons. But that's very often how it's explained to us. When I talk to people about body image, by far, the thing that we all talk about the most is not necessarily seeing something different than what is actually going on, which absolutely can be a feature and was for me. But by far, what most people report as the distressing part of body image and body image discomfort, distress, or dysmorphia is how it feels in your body, how uncomfortable, how I always explain it as feeling claustrophobic, like I want to get out of my skin. And what that used to do in my eating disorder is link immediately to how much I hated my body, abusing my body, saying terrible things about my body. And the difference is now is that it's just a signal. It's just a sign that, yeah, I'm uncomfortable, I'm in pain, I'm tired, I'm probably quite anxious and stressed because of my hormones and my exhaustion. And it is a signal to me that I have some core needs which really need to be met. And here I am doing my best to meet them. I stay in comfy clothes. I am not wearing a bra. I wear clothes which are loose fitting and light, so that nothing feels heavy or kind of makes me feel more trapped or more claustrophobic. I am comforting myself, soothing myself, doing something nice for myself. In fact, just going overboard and buying clothing for my hot water bottle. Why did I purchase this cover? I'm so confused by it. Eating something which makes me feel good and makes me feel like I'm being really nice to myself. Just because I'm having bad body image, this is what I mean by how it changes when you're recovered, is I don't link my bad body image to food. This is still eaten. I just had a shepherd's pie for lunch. There's no flow-on effect. Sorry, had to be done. There's no flow-on effect where I try to correct it, fix it in terms of changing my body. There's nothing wrong with my body. It's in pain. It needs soothing. It needs comforting. It needs medication, hello Nurofen. It needs rest. It needs sleep. It does not need deprivation. It does not need to be told that it's bad or wrong or ugly or all manner of other things that my eating disorder self used to do with these feelings. And I recognize that there is no fix to this. It's a chronic illness. It doesn't have a cure. And an eating disorder certainly was never going to cure chronic illness. Eating disorder wasn't a cure for anything. So I do all the stuff that I would recommend to you guys if you're having a bad body image day. Get in your comfy clothes. Wear things which are light, which breathe. Like this is beautiful cotton and it's so soft and it's so light on my skin. Comfort yourself. Do for yourself what you would do for a friend who was going through a similarly difficult day, particularly if you're in recovery. What would you do for a friend who was in recovery, who was feeling really uncomfortable and really off kilter in their body in that moment? Would you abuse them? Would you tell them, well, get out there and engage in excessive exercise? Or would you keep food from them? Would you make them throw up their food? Would you do things to other people, or would you recommend things to other people which you're convinced work for you, right? I think one of the clearest ways we can figure out that what we're telling ourselves are solutions aren't actually solutions, because if you really believe they were solutions, you would be recommending them to other people. It's like when we stumble across a great product or a great movie, who do we tell about it? Our loved ones, because we want them to experience something enjoyable or useful or helpful. Funnily enough, these behaviors are the one thing you probably don't recommend to people, even though something in your head tells you that this is a solution and this helps you, right? Nourish yourself as best you can. Distract yourself as best you can. I'm sitting here binging Game of Thrones and doing some work, playing Mahjong on my phone, because that's my favorite phone game, because she loves it. And remind yourself this is a moment, it's a day, it's not forever, and it's a signal. These messages that are being sent by your body or being sent by your brain are ways for us to connect to the core needs that we need to meet. And you are definitely not going to meet those core needs by shoving down those feelings or sedating them or punishing yourself for them, right? So body image is something we can absolutely manage, we can absolutely cope with, and it's not nearly as intense as what you experience when you have an eating disorder. The level of distress is much lower. The frequency with which you have bad body image days is generally far less frequent, because in my experience with my eating disorder, it was nearly constant. For me, this doesn't come up very often. Even when I do have flare-ups, that doesn't necessarily mean I also have a bad body image day. It has to be sort of a combo of factors that lead to the bad body image sort of setting in, and that uncomfortable feeling setting in. And the most important part being that we don't take these feelings and use them to hurt ourselves or a reason to perpetuate eating disorder stuff, right? Instead, we do for ourselves what we would likely do for others, which is show them a lot of care and comfort and to be compassionate towards them, right? So if you're having a bad body image day, please go put on some loose clothes, do some positive distraction, do some self-soothing, stay off social media, stay off anything that's going to make you compare or make you feel more frustrated by how you're feeling. If it's more of sort of like that visual body image stuff that you're dealing with, social media is definitely not going to be helpful, regardless of what kind of bad body image, but particularly if it's a visual aspect of bad body image that you're dealing with. And just be as kind with yourself as you can be. Okay, it will pass. It does pass. And it passes more often than not when we see those alarm bells and we figure out what is actually going on underneath, which is my very lucky fate with endometriosis. 1 in 10. Aren't we lucky? So hope that was helpful. Do whatever you got to do to take care of yourself in the most compassionate way you can. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what helps you with your body image below. Us sharing our own experiences and tips always helps, the wider community to take care of this stuff. Just as a heads up, the Conquer Your Eating Disorder voice is probably the most popular workshop I've ever run. I've been running it each month and it sells out extremely quickly each month. There's only 4 tickets left for the March workshop. So that link is in the description box below. It is a 3-week workshop where you get a 1-hour presentation, 3 1-hour weekly calls with me and the group to work through the skills that you're learning in your beautiful workbooks, which are created by me. They're original workbooks. The 3rd one is a personalized one for you. And there's also 3 weeks of forum access where we're also unpacking these skills, and I'm in there every single day helping you and strategizing. We just got done with the January group and it was incredible. The progress that they were able to make in 3 weeks and the way they were able to utilize these skills so effectively and so powerfully. They are the skills I believe in the most and have seen them change people's lives. So make sure that you come and sign up because they'll be gone very, very quickly. I will see you guys in next week's video. Come and join on Patreon in the meantime if you'd like to. The Pen Pal tier is sold out, but there's some really cool stuff on offer over there for some pretty good rates. If you want to come to our live streams, it's $5 a month and they're incredible. I love our little community who gets together every single week. Or if you want to have private calls with me every month, there's the AAA membership. And then there's the official contributor, which is just $2, which means that you get to see these a couple of days early. So that link is in the description box as well. I will see you guys next week with another video. In the meantime, as always, much love. Take care. Bye.